All right, addicts, this is DJ REM from Rock Addict Radio, and I have Mike from the band Witch Cross. How are you today, my friend?
I'm excellent. I just got back from a show in Italy where we played Friday night, European time, about 1 in the morning, and it was, we were all very excited about going to Italy and thinking about it's going to be nice and warm, but it was very, very cold. I mean, it was very hard to move your fingers fast in that freezing cold, But yeah, other than that, I'm pretty good actually. So.
Very cool. So why don't you, let's start if you could introduce yourself and the other members of the band that are not with us today.
Yeah, my name is Mike Blatt, or Mike, my full name is Mike Koch actually, and I started the band out in the 80s together with a few of the other guys we still have in the band. The bass player is called Jan. Little John, we call him. He's a big guy, but we call him Little John. So he's been in the band with me since 80. Then we got the drummer we used in 84. He's called the stage name Tony Adams, but his real name is Lars Bjornstad. And then we got 2 new members. One is Kevin Moore. He's been working with Graham Oliver from Saxon on a few tours, and another really good friend of mine, guitar player called Paul Martin, and he was from a band called Jane Doe, which was more sort of wouldn't say AOR, but more sort of glammy rock metal band sort of thing, cheesy rock metal band. But he's a very good friend of ours, and when we needed a guitar player for the band, he was the obvious choice. He's a great guy. So yeah, so that's the lineup now.
Very cool, and I have to tell you, obviously you guys have been around for quite some time, and I recently just discovered you when your music was sent to me, and I was like, I heard you guys, and then when I read about you guys and realized you guys have been around so long, I'm like, how did I not hear these guys so much long ago?
I think what happened, it's sort of a cult thing, really, isn't it? Because I mean, I didn't realize that people knew about us, to be honest, and it was a pleasant surprise to me when I found out when we did our first gig together after about 27 years. Sort of, we just got back together and played the big festival in Germany, and 2,000 people knew all the words to the song and was singing the guitar parts and everything, and it was just an amazing feeling. And that's when we sort of decided, well, we can't just leave it like this. We're gonna do more with this band, So,
right.
So that was the, I wouldn't say it was the full reason why we sort of ended up with a new album. We sort of wanted to do a new album, but after that first reunion gig, we thought, well, we better bring something good to the table, and really sort of pushed ourselves to do a really brilliant new album, which is hopefully what we got now. Well, anyway, the review's been amazing on the new album, so that's a positive. So let's see once it hits the shops and then people can buy it, if we're actually going to sell some albums. But I mean, we are sort of we're still a cult band, not a lot of people know about us, and we're just going to try to get out to as many people as possible, and hopefully convince them that we're worth listening to, and buying the albums, etc., and supporting. So it's yeah.
Well, very good, man. All I can say is from the first time I started listening to you guys, because I wasn't sure what to expect, because I had not heard you guys, and from the first track I listened to, I'm like, okay, I'm an instant fan. So,
Really?
You guys, to me, as far as I'm concerned, from a music fan's standpoint, are amazing. And I mean, you guys have amazing guitar work, and the vocals blow me out of this world. So it's very cool. And I'm not just saying that.
I think that was one thing we were up against, because we haven't got the original singer in the band now. I still actually work with him in another band, so I see him regularly. We after Witch Cross we had a band together which was called Harvard, which was a more sort of a when we were looking for a singer, we thought we're not going to try to get somebody, that sounds like the original singer. We're just going to get somebody that we can really work with.
Right.
In the sense that we can create good music together, because that was the big element of Witchcross back then. I think we had some good songs, which sort of we were not only about playing well and singing well. I think we were very much into writing songs that people sort of could wouldn't say relate to, but it would be listenable to people.
Right.
When you put the album on, it's not like, oh, here's another of the same type of track. We're always thinking, we're going to mix this up a little bit so it appeals to a lot of people, and also that also for the band, you don't want to play the same riff over and over again, when somebody's screaming on top, like that. So I think that was what we set out to do with the new lineup as well. And I worked with the singer before on a few other projects, and I knew he was going to be really good writing with, and he's done really well of picking up from where the band was in the old days, because we obviously we had to play all the old songs when we go out and play, and I know it was going to be a hard job to pick up from that album. I mean, Alex was at his peak when we did that album in '83 actually, and we were all fired up back then. We just touring and all that. Everybody was just like really into the whole thing. We were very focused, and we were very and I think that's what made the album special, and it has proved that it has stood the test of times as well, because people are still liking it, which is a good thing, so.
Right, so and that's what I need to do next, is I need to go back and listen to the old school stuff, because I'm yet to, I can't stop listening to the new album, so I just haven't went back and listened to the old stuff yet, but I'm going to have to do that.
To hear what you think of the old stuff then, because it's a lot of people that come from the old stuff and they say, oh yeah, you're doing really well, and some people say, oh no, maybe the vocals not. Well, I think the new album, it's sort of, I would say, it obviously doesn't carry on from where we were in '84, '85, because that's impossible. You can't erase your mind and go back to them.
Right.
We've got two new members for one, and also I've been very active musically since then, producing and writing. So it was. So if you really tried to just to pick up, it would be too contrived, or it wouldn't be right, So we sort of said we're just going to write songs that we would like to hear, and I always find that the bands that make the song interesting, so you don't think, oh, we heard that before, why don't you change a little bit? So we sort of always try to make the songs really strong all the way through, no weak parts. I mean, people can choose to disagree, but I think from the reviews we got so far, a lot of people like it, so that's a good thing. Yeah.
Okay, so when is this album Axe to Grind actually going to hit stores?
Well, I think we're nearly there. The 9th of July is the release date, and it'll be out. I think Hell's Headbangers, I think they distribute through Sony or Warner or something in America. So hopefully it'll be out. I mean, it's a different world now. There's a lot of downloads and that's not. I don't know about America, but here in Europe we don't have any record stores anymore. There's a few smaller ones, but you can't just nip down the road and buy an album. So I'll be excited to see what's going to happen. But I believe they're going to do it on vinyl as well. But I'm not sure if they got it ready for the 9th of July. But the CD is definitely ready. We've been selling it at live shows for the last month. So I know that's going to hit the shops on the 9th of June, and then let's see. Hopefully people are going to back it up, and there might be a few downloads or whatever. But the metal fans are really great, because they like to have the thing in their hand. You know?
Right, exactly.
And look at it and read about it, and then you get the lyrics and all that stuff.
So as far as the new album goes, I'm looking at the album cover right now, and I think it's really cool. Who designed that for you guys? Who did the artwork?
It's a Russian artist, and you know what? My mind is absolutely blank now. But what his name is, that's really embarrassing. But he did a great job. We found him through. We did a festival in Europe called Keep It True, which is proper old school metal, and that was our first gig. And the guy that does the artwork for them is this Russian guy, and I should really find his name, but I can't find it now. So I contacted him. It's like he does proper painting, oil on canvas. So it's one of those, it takes a bit of time, but you get a nice quality. And we sort of got the inspiration from the first album, Fit for Fight, which was, I don't know if you've seen it, but it's a sort of similar situation with a flying bat and some warriors, and so it sort of it links in a little bit with that, and that was we did that on purpose, obviously, So, but yeah, we're very pleased with the artwork, and Hell's Headbangers done a really good job on the layout on the CD as well. It's a really good team, and we were not quite sure whether to go with them, but they just proved that they do a really good job. They re-released all our old stuff as well on box set and vinyl set as well, where all the old demos and old DVDs, video stuff's already been added, and it's just been amazing what they actually have put together. And it's a bit strange because they normally don't deal sort of in our style of music. They're more sort of death metal.
Right.
But I think they had a personal interest in the band, which was really nice, and we were very happy to work with them. So when we sort of decided when we finished the basic recording of the album, we just approached them and said, "Do you want to put it out?" And they said, "Yeah, let's do it." So that worked really well for us. We had Chris Tangeridis, who's done basically everybody, but a lot of people remember him from the Anvil movie, obviously. But he used to work with Gary Moore in Malmsteen. Thin Lizzy, Judas Priest, but basically everybody in the 80s and in the 90s. And we were very lucky to get him to mix the album. And we got Flemming Rasmussen did Metallica, obviously. He did the mastering of the album. So we had some good people involved in the process and in the project. And it was, I think it worked out really well. Actually, we're very pleased with the result, and I mean we spent a long time doing it,
right,
and many hours polishing it. But I think you need to put the effort in if you want to put something out. After about 30 years, I think you can't just drop a pile of poo,
Right, exactly.
People who expect them to think, "Oh yeah, brilliant guys," So we really sort of put in the effort to do it, and to be fair, we are actually working on a new album already. So so I think there'll be a third album fairly soon, actually.
Very cool, very cool. So here's a question, kind of just for you personally. I mean, what kind of influences did you have and do you have in your life that got you into music and made you want to do something like this?
Well, in the early years, it was. I started playing music when I was very young. I was performing when I was 12. So back then it was bands like Wings and Beatles, but also very early on I started listening to Black Sabbath, and AC/DC was a big influence, but also the more progressive bands and more. I used to love Boston. I saw Boston live, Styx as well, the American band. So it's always a mixture for me. But what really was the main turning point for Witchcross was Iron Maiden. I mean, it was we sort of started very Black Sabbath, but then when Iron Maiden came, that sort of upped the tempo a little bit, and then Judas Priest. They were the sort of main thing, and then also Saxon, I would say. And these days, it's a lot of different things these days I listen to, but I still, the new Saxon album is brilliant. Station's just doing a really good new album as well. Great guys. And to be honest, I still love Judas Priest is probably my favorite band of all time, but I listen to different stuff, Linkin Park and Slipknot and that sort of side of things as well. Alter Bridge is a really good band. Bullet for My Valentine. So I listen to a lot of music, and also because I'm a producer, I do a lot of stuff, which I get paid for. I do anything from acoustic, do R&B and pop and country. Yeah. So I work with a lot of different things, but my heart is really in old school metal. That's where I started out, and that's what I like to play and hear.
Yeah, and I totally can appreciate that. And I think with you guys, I think that was the huge draw for me, just in your sound, is it definitely has that old school metal style, which I grew up with as well, and I think that really drew me to you guys. So.
Yeah, I think, a lot of people compare us with a few bands, and they say the singer sounds very much like Biff Byford from Saxon, which is, I don't think it's entirely true. They're nearly from the same part of the country, so he's got that English influence rather than what we had before. We had more like a European sound, I think. I actually live in England now, so maybe we have that sort of an English edge to the music, but I don't think, if you write from your heart, and not try to just write to please the audience, we don't really do that. If we can't stand and say this is a song we really like, we're not going to put it out. So I think that's a good sort of tool for measuring the quality of the song. And also, it will help if people like what they hear now. It's not going to cut us short in the future. We're not going to end up with what should we write now, and because as long as we like it, hopefully people will like it as well. So.
Right, exactly. You got to enjoy what you're doing and the music you're making.
And I think people will pick up on it. Absolutely, they will pick up if you just do something to make money, which nobody. We're not making money from any of this we do here.
Right.
So you got to do it with your heart. If you think you can just write an album and sell shitloads of records, it's not going to happen. And because you don't sell albums anymore, so it's you're going to have something that would ring out in years to come, like the previous album did, and that's actually the reason why we're here, because people like the old album, so they wanted to see us play live in Europe, so people sort of started asking, can we get this band back on the scene, and it's been an amazing experience for us,
Yeah, that's really cool.
People, there's even people that weren't born, when we split up, so it was quite an interesting thing for us to meet all these people.
Yeah, I bet. So, how did you guys come up with the name for the band, Witchcross? Where'd that come from?
Well, we started out being quite sort of dark into the other side, so to speak. But it was very hard for us. Some of the bands in Denmark sort of got quite big on that account, obviously King Diamond, Merciful Fate. But we thought, that's one guy, he's doing it really well, why should we try that, And when we were on stage, we always, in enjoyed it so much. We couldn't stand there looking like mean and moody, you know.
Right.
Always laughing and having a good time with the audience, you know, and you know, jumping into the crowd and doing all that stuff, you know, before stage diving really was invented, you know. So we did all that you know, always had a good contact with the audience. Always went out afterwards and talked to them, and so we got known in Denmark as the smiling heavy metal band. So I mean, the name sort of stuck around because that's what we had when we formed the band, but it didn't really reflect what we were all about, you know. But you know, it was a name that sort of stuck with us. You know, we had a song which we wrote, which was called Witch Cross. You know, we wrote that in '79, and it was which never made it to the album, funnily enough. But I mean, we started out doing all that occult stuff, but we sort of we changed a little bit more towards more to lyrics based around different aspects of life. You know, having a good time with your mates, or you know, there's a little bit of horror in there. You know,
Right. Exactly.
Whatever. Yeah, but sort of more sort of mainstream metal, not mainstream metal, but you know, more sort of Dungeons and Dragons and all that shit. You know, rather than singing about Satan and his evil beings. So, but the name. I mean, we never we didn't want to change the name because you know it sort of stuck around. We had a pretty cool logo, you know, done, you know, and so on. So it's and people obviously, you know, once you hear a band, you don't put too much into the name. You know, I know there's a band from Chicago actually who borrowed our name. I don't know if they're still going, but they play sort of Sabbath type stuff, you know. So
I don't know. I have not heard of those guys. I've only heard of you. So.
I just looked at them, you know, when we talked about, you know, getting back together, and it just came up, you know, when you're looking to get a website up and running. I think they got.
Oh, right. Gotcha.
We got the .com, you know, so we actually witchcross.dk, you know, if people want to look us up. So yeah, so that's pretty cool. But the reason why we picked the name, it was we always tell a stupid story that we had two options. One was Red Haystack and the other one was Witch Cross, and we thought that Witch Cross sounded better.
It sounds metal. What are you going to do?
More metal than Red Haystack.
So, where can people go to find out more about Witch Cross? What social networking and such do you guys use?
I mean, we're on Facebook, and it's just Facebook. I think it's facebook.com/witchcross. Or they can go to our website as well, which is www.witchcross.dk, DK for Denmark. And also we are on Twitter, which I think it's just @witchcross. I could be wrong, but I think it's, yeah. So that's where they can find us, or they can email me if they want to get in contact, which is mike@witchcross.dk.
Okay. And I see you also, people can get merchandise if they want from the website, correct?
Yeah, I would say with you being in America, I think you're probably better off going through our record label, but they don't have all this stuff that we have, but they have different stuff as well. But they can definitely go through the website. They can see the merch on there, and they can obviously go to Hell's Headbangers in America, which have they have CDs and obviously and all the vinyl stuff. I mean, it's become very expensive to ship stuff around the world.
Right, exactly.
Which is a bit unfortunate, but yeah, we do send stuff all over the world. You know, so yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, especially like over here, since the U.S. dollar has dropped so much compared to like the euro and stuff. I ordered I'm trying to remember. It was like almost double by the time I paid tax and shipping and everything. It was like double what the price was.
Yeah, the tax can really hurt you as well, can't it? So, I mean, there's quite a few of those small distributors based around the world, which is really good, because it's sort of it makes it easier to afford to buy records from America if you're based in Europe, and the other way around,
Right, definitely.
So they're doing a great job trying to get the music across the globe.
Okay, so what do you like to do to relax when you're not producing and touring and stuff? You got any cool hobbies you like to do?
Well, I always enjoy playing music, so But yeah, I've got two kids. Take them to the park and buy them an ice cream and hang out with them, and yeah. So generally just family life when I'm not working, writing music, producing that. That's about it. I don't really do any sort of strange sports things. So it's more. I never really been into any of that. So yeah, just hang out with friends and go to concerts and watch some movies and all that sort of thing.
Yeah, that's cool, man. That question is kind of a setup question, because what I find is the bands that are really true musicians, they always answer the same thing that you did. The music. That's what I do.
Oh, I do racing and I do a bit of football. No, but I mean, I think if you like music, you tend to play it all the time.
Exactly.
I know it sounds like silly, for people that don't really, are not into it. But if I have spare time, from family life, I'll sit down with the guitar and probably write a song, and not always a metal song, because I write different things, but. When I have time, I definitely, it's definitely music I do, Also, with the Witchcross being back together, that's a lot of work involved with that. We don't do many interviews, but we do interviews and try to organize new gigs and stuff, and we don't have a management company, so we have to do everything ourselves, so it's quite, there's a lot to do, really, in that sense, which is, it's great doing, but it does take a lot of our time.
Oh, definitely. It's a lot of time and a lot of work to keep what you're doing going. I mean, trust me, I know. And I'm not even in a band, but just scheduling interviews and all the stuff that I do for the bands, it's so much time.
You're going to keep us sure with what's going on in which bands you want to listen to.
Exactly. Okay, so what's the craziest thing that's ever happened to you at a live show that you've done?
With Witchcross or anybody, I would say we haven't really had any really stupid thing happening with Witchcross. I think we had some weird people in the audience occasionally, but we haven't had anything. I mean, the most fun was, I think, we played Roskilde in '84, and metal was new and everybody was taking it very seriously, and we just decided we were going to have a laugh at the whole thing. So we had a soap bubble machine on stage, which was blowing soap bubbles out.
Nice.
It was pretty fun. But other than that, I don't think we have nothing crazy has happened. There was another thing when we played the show, and there were some bikers there, and they heard the original singer sing, and they were just hanging out in the bar, and we were sort of in the back of the room. They probably couldn't see us very well, and then they could sort of maybe see Alex in the distance with his blonde hair, So they came out to the van afterwards when we were about to drive. Oh yeah, we'd like to say hello to the girl singer in the band, and we were all pissing ourselves, These bikers thought they were going to pick up a bird, and it was these high-pitched noise. So, but yeah, I mean, obviously, when you go out and tour, which, across the world, which I have done for the last 20 years, you run into a lot of But I wouldn't say I've never had anything strange happen to me on stage. Once one singer I worked with, he was so drunk, so he had to sit down on stage and sing. He said it was his birthday, but it was a bizarre sort of thing.
Very cool. Okay, is there anything else you would like to tell everybody that'll hear this interview about Witchcross? Anything I haven't asked you that you want to make sure people know about you guys?
What I would say is, the reason why we're back together is purely because of the support we've been getting from people around the world. And it's been absolutely fantastic having the band out playing songs that we wrote back then and the new songs as well. And it's just unbelievable that there's still this. It was very much like it was in the early years, when people sort of communicated. I mean, it was a lot more different then, because you had to write letters to Brazil and
right.
They copy on tapes and stuff like that. Now it's a bit more instant. You can use the internet, but I think it's you're actually blown away with the support you get from people from all corners of the world, and we just want to say thank you to people, and we're going to try to go and play as many places as we possibly can. So that's what we think, and we like people like yourself and all the people that do the magazine, fanzines, metal blogs, whatever. Anybody who's helped to promote the music, because that's what it's all about. It's not about a band only looking out for themselves. I mean, we try to help bands. I've been pushing young bands. I hear, I really try to get them work. If someone says, "Oh, Switchcross want to come and play here," yeah, we want to come and play, but check this band out as well. So we sort of it's all about trying to give something back as well. So it's great when people sort of send us an email that they like the stuff and messages on Facebook. We love all that shit, and we try to sort of try to communicate a lot with the people out there. So it's brilliant being able to do these interviews and getting our message across. That we're back together and we gotta come and play everywhere we can. So.
Okay, well, I wish you guys the best of luck with everything you want to do, and just a huge thank you to you for calling in and taking time out of your day to talk to me and do the interview. And I will definitely continue to play you guys on my show and spread the word with all my contacts for you guys. That's definitely something I will continue to do to help. My little bit of helping that I can do, I will.
Oh, that's brilliant. And anytime you want to speak to us, whether it's if we're doing an American tour or anything, I'll get in contact with you. So.
Yeah, if you guys come over to this side of the world, definitely let me know so I can keep track. Because if you're coming someplace close, I would love to come watch you guys play live.
Okay, brilliant. Well, we hope we get a chance in the future to get across, But obviously it's quite expensive.
Yes.
Traveling across and work permits, etc., etc. But yeah, we'll definitely try to come to America because I think we got a quite good following over there. So.
Very cool. Okay, I have one last thing to ask you before I let you go, though. I would love a couple of radio tags if you don't mind.
Yeah, no problem.
So the first one, you can say this is Mike from Witchcross, and you're listening to RockAddictRadio.com.
RockAddictRadio.com. Hi, this is Mike from Witchcross. You're listening to RockRadioAddict.com.
Okay, I'm going to have you redo that one. You said it backwards.
Okay. What is the song?
It's Rock Addict Radio.
Rock Addict Radio, okay. Hi, this is Mike from Witchcross. You're listening to RockAddictRadio.com.
Perfect. And then the second one, if you could just do the same thing, but add in there that you're listening to DJ REM at Rock Addict Radio.
REM, okay. Hi, this is Mike from Witchcross. You're listening to DJ REM at RockAddictRadio.com.
Very cool, man. Thanks again. Again, thanks to Hell's Headbangers and all those guys, and Nathan Burke was actually the one that actually forwarded their stuff on to me, so huge thanks to him as well. So.
Okay, thanks a lot for having us on your show, and I hope to see you sometimes in the near future.
Yeah, definitely. And please tell the rest of the band members I said hello as well.
I will indeed, and we will spread the message on YouTube when we're done there. When we
Yep.
finish the interview. Thanks a lot.
Okay, man. Take care.
Cheers, mate.
Yep. Bye.